dead so far, 32,400 missing in Mexico. The storms, the hurricane, the flooding, a lot of displaced families, a lot of people missing, 32,400, and confirmed deaths, 12,600. Shows how bad the infrastructure is, that, you know, they knew it was coming. It wasn't like it was a surprise, but the devastation.
My goodness.
We're going to be talking about it probably for a few days, because this just happened, and again, there's 32,400 missing that were washed away. If you saw any of the videos, and if you haven't, just go to the search bar and put Mexico flooding, and you'll see cars were being washed away, houses were being washed away. It was a sight, and again, they knew it was coming but couldn't do anything about it because the infrastructure, a lot of the housing is real old. A lot of stuff just got washed away. It was way too much water coming way too fast, and I mean, cars were going down the streets. That's how bad it was.
Father's brother disappeared about 20-something years ago, and the whole family has no idea whether he's alive or dead.
He drowned.
He drowned. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Sylvia, my parents divorced when I was 2 years old, and I don't know my biological father.
You don't want to.
Okay. Not
You
at all.
don't.
Thank you.
This clip is from the Montel Williams show in the 2000s. That's Sylvia Brown, a psychic who told millions of viewers she could see the future, speak to the dead, and even find missing people whilst they were alive. Her one-liners were so shocking that audiences would just accept them as the truth. Live on TV. Looking back now, was she a gifted medium, a con artist, or something darker? All the psychics on here let me know down below. The way people normalise this is honestly creepier than Sylvia's predictions themselves.
Revelation for you to actually understand that your daughter has telepathic abilities, and so, like, when you define telepathy in your mind, how specifically does it work?
Oh man, it's so hard to say. She has access.
Like, what would be your best guess to what's actually happening?
What's actually happening is, it's hard to say. I would say she has access to not only my mind, present thoughts, she has access to thoughts I'm not even thinking about. But not just that, she has the ability to go into other places like the Hill. I don't know if you know what the Hill is.
Yeah.
She has the ability to go to other places, but not just the Hill. If I'm somewhere, she's probably here right now. Like she has the ability to go to places and teleport herself to those places and tell me, oh man, I have so many stories. So, for example, I did this one seminar in Orlando in January, and this is the first time I was a partner, and I remember having a conversation with my friend, and I remember him saying that, how does telepathy stuff work? And he says, and I said, well, Liu says we're all telepathic. Well, the majority of us, as long as you have angels, you're telepathic. And he goes, well, I must not have angels because I don't think I'm telepathic. And I'm like, I think Liu would disagree. And so, fast forward like a week or so later, I totally forget about that conversation. And I say to her, I said, Lilu, do you have a message for anybody at the seminar or about the seminar? And she goes, yeah, I have one for Alex. She says his name. And I said, what is it? She goes, Alex, I deem you a telepath. And I totally forgot this conversation happened. She goes, I deem you a telepath. And if you ever question it, just ask your angels to show you in a way that you understand, that you would recognize. And I remember telling him, he goes, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about the conversation too. So neither one of us were thinking about it. And that happens a lot, where we're not even thinking about it and she'll come into memories. My husband, it took him a while to latch on to this stuff. It took him a while because he was the biggest skeptic on the planet. Mm-hmm. Once he saw me with the blindfold and he started to question everything. And then we went to Contact in the Desert. He goes, finally, okay, fine, Lidu, show me what you can do. Show me a memory, or tell me about a memory that only I would know about. And I haven't told you. And so she goes and tells him about this memory of when he accidentally killed a turtle. It was an accident. He went to give him a bath, and he's in Mexico. It was like 120 degrees. He puts water into a baseball cap that's plastic, and it ended up killing the turtle. But she went into these details about it that even he forgot about until she mentioned it.
When he was a kid or something?
Yeah, when he's a little kid.
Wow.
Yeah, so she said these details. He's like, I forgot about that part. I forgot about that part. And so she has access to our memories.
To the Akashic Records, what is a simple way that we can use numerology to align us with abundance, wealth, and lots of riches? Please give us a breakdown.
According to the Akashic Records, numerology is a sacred mirror that reflects not only personality and path, but also our alignment with energetic wealth currents. When used consciously, it can act like a spiritual tuning fork to magnetize abundance, prosperity, and soul-aligned riches. Let me offer you a simple yet potent breakdown, aligned with divine truth. 1. Understand that numbers are frequencies. In the Akashic view, numbers are not neutral. They are living vibrations. Each number holds a frequency that attracts or repels different quantum realities. When you align your name, environment, and actions to specific abundance-holding numbers, you begin to attune to those frequencies. 2. Use the numbers of wealth consciously. Some numbers carry stronger abundance codes in the energetic field. 8. The master frequency of material power, karmic balance, business and manifestation. 6, the number of harmony, service, beauty and prosperity in relationships and community. 3, joyful creation, self-expression and money through artistry or magnetism. 9, completion and spiritual wealth, abundance as a soul gift, often through service or healing. Start by finding your life path number, then overlay one of these frequencies into your daily actions, business names or chosen dates. 3, align name and business with abundant numbers. Using a numerology chart, calculate the expression number of your name or brand. If it doesn't reduce to an 8, 6 or 3, consider adding a word or letter to shift it. Many spiritual entrepreneurs and soul-led creators intentionally rename themselves or their offerings to vibrate wealth. For example, if your brand name adds to a 4, structure, but slow returns, shifting it to 8 can unlock abundance faster. 4, choose dates for manifestation rituals by number. The Akashic currents flow stronger on certain days, 8th, 17th and 26th of the month. Best for wealth ritual, contract signing, launching. 6th, 15th, 24th for love-based prosperity, offerings, donations that return multiplied. 3rd, 12th, 21st, 30th, creativity, networking, charm-based money flow. Plan rituals, launches or investment on these days to harmonize with the cosmic flow. 5, activate your personal abundance code. You can also discover your personal abundance number by adding your birthday plus birth month together. For example, born on June 10th, 6 plus 10 equals 16, 1 plus 6 equals 7. This number shows how you naturally magnetize wealth. Then lean into its energy. 1, leadership and independence. 2, partnerships and receptivity. 3, creativity and voice. 4, consistency and systems. 5, flexibility and adventure. 6, beauty and caregiving. 7, intuition and spiritual consulting. 8, power and business. 9, service and global vision. 6, final keys from the Akasha Wealth is not about chasing. It's about attuning. When your thoughts, environment, and names vibrate in harmony with wealth codes, money becomes a natural echo of your frequency. Numerology is not superstition. It is a map of frequency embodiment. Use it like a tuning fork, not to change your worth, but to amplify the divine current already flowing through you.
Do you know there are three words that can completely change your life? According to the Bible, if you keep speaking these 3 words every day, you'll begin to see transformation within just 1 week. The first word is Jehovah Jireh, which means the Lord will provide. No matter what you're facing, lack, anxiety, or uncertainty, believe that God is already working on your behalf. He will provide everything you need, helping you find hope in despair and a way out of every struggle. The second word is Shalom, a sacred expression of peace and abundance. May your home this week be filled with calm and warmth. May every storm in your life be silenced by God's peace, and every dark night be illuminated by His light. Let your heart rest and feel that heavenly serenity surround you. The third word is Ephatha, which means be open. When you speak this word with faith, God will open new doors before you, leading you into the blessings and opportunities He has already prepared. Maybe it's a door you've been knocking on for a long time, but today it will finally open.
Vampire Horst Lindstrom has haunted my every thought, just as he's haunted my bloodline for over 150 years. My ancestors were deeply embroidered in the world of vampires, well-versed in hunting them and brimming with information about the creatures. They wrote of elders, rare vampires that metamorphosize into darker creatures, which I believe inspired Albin Grau's designs for the movie Nosferatu. The family's greatest vampire expert Harold Oldry Jr. left ever more extensive writings on the undead, including information of an ethereal elder subspecies called haunters, vampire spirits attached to individuals or groups. With the help of his vampire ally Alexandra, who aids us to this day, Harold Jr. learned this haunter's identity. Horst Lindstrom, a repulsive Prussian elder from the late 15th century, sired by the Unmaker himself, Dmitri Vadeska. Horst, along with his sire, who had returned from hell, was slain centuries later by Oldry paladins when the Unmaker returned again, ruined and withered by hell. Seeking vengeance on the next in the Oldry line, he summoned Horst's spirit, made into a haunter connected to the very Oldry bloodline, where he remains even today, a horror held back by aging protections.
How did Alexandra become so entwined with the Oldry family of hunters? She had been a vampire herself since the early 1700s, but even though she hunted her own kind, she would eventually find herself a prisoner inside St. George's Keep, alongside more vampires and many other supernatural creatures. However, she would shortly capture the attention of Reinhold Oldry, a paladin knight and high-ranking guard within the dungeon. After learning of her work hunting her own kind, Reinhold freed her from the dungeon. 2 generations later, she would work closely with Harold Oldry Jr., the first Oldry with no connection to nor protection from the Sons of Man order. Regardless, he continued the family work, focusing on vampires. This would lead to their paths crossing at some point in the 1890s. Either because of Reinhold's past assistance or the family's reputation in general, she elected to assist and educate the man, teaching him the many secrets of her kind that no one else could. The truth of elder vampires, and the means of slaying any and all different varieties. Most importantly, she taught of haunters, ethereal vampire spirits connected to individuals or groups. One such of these haunters, unbeknownst to Harold Jr. himself, was already connected to the Oldry line of slayers. Alexandra identified him as Horst Lindstrom, a once noble German vampire, sired by Dmitri Vadeska himself. Horst remains attached to the family bloodline to this day, as seen here in this video. And Alexandra continues to assist, sending me these photos of herself and more.
Tales about what was the most frightening, powerful evil entity my ancestors faced, most assuming some kind of demon or fallen angel. But in truth, the worst thing they ever encountered was a man, a crusader tactician named Dmitri Vadeska, a genius considered barbaric even for the era. He led to many deaths on both sides of the conflict. Unknown to most, he was the heir to a long line of occult demon worshippers, and used such abilities in the war and after to become truly inhuman, seeking immortality and to unmake God's creation. The Sons of Man, who were formed to stop him, finally succeeded centuries later, led by a mysterious, fully covered warrior bearing a strange face-like helmet. The Unmaker was banished to hell. The story of Dmitri Vadeska, the worst being my ancestors ever faced, did not end with his death. The Crusader turned Dark Lord was slain and thought to be permanently trapped in hell. 3 centuries later, he burst up from the earth with a small army of demons. Some believe this was due to him conquering a region of the underworld, literally stealing ground from Lucifer himself. My ancestors, a father and son pair of paladins, holy warriors dating back to Charlemagne, and the church's top exorcist priest, were just barely able to banish him back to the abyss. But he would return once more, creeping into people's dreams through fear, including the heir to those who'd killed him, Harold. The final entry in his journal says that Vadeska has returned, and it is to me and my allies
Vampires
to
that
end
reach
him.
a certain age will sometimes undergo a metamorphosis into a stranger, deeper version of the creatures, referred to by most as elders, likely becoming closer to the primeval origins of the curse. I believe that Albin Grau designed the character Count Orlok after witnessing an elder himself. Through this depiction, more accurate portrayals of the most powerful elder vampires have bled into numerous films and television shows. The descriptions of elders in the journals of my ancestor Harold Oldry Jr. paint them as dramatic exaggerations of their younger counterparts. While they display incredible supernatural abilities and need to feed less frequently, they are also the source of most popularly believed vampire weaknesses, including a much stronger aversion to true faith objects, prayer, and occult tools. They have no tolerance for sunlight, being utterly destroyed by it. They make up for all this, however, in their seeming inability to permanently die. Through unknown means, they return to the world again and again, more monstrous with each passing. It is written that fallen vampires made into haunters by their masters will take on elder features as well, much like the one seen in my home. Elders were also surrounded by paranormal activity. The most terrifying vampires. See here the photo of one.
I'm going to tell you all a few things that you may have not known before about vampires. Vampires actually do exist, and I know this sounds very far-fetched and I'm losing people as we speak, but if you're here still, just hold on, let me explain. Vampires are not what you think they are, like in fiction novels and stuff like that. There are two different types of vampires that I have studied, because honestly, I've never personally been close to one of these people, but when you do occult research and you research into folklore, specifically Eastern European folklore and Egyptian folklore, you will come into beliefs around vampires, because vampires were actually started in ancient Egypt. And you also have some history with vampires in Eastern Europe. Now, present day, we've had encounters in the United States with real-life vampires. There are 9 tribes of vampires. And then I'm also going to differentiate living vampires and immortal vampires. Immortal vampires are very difficult, they're very fragile to maintain, meaning that somebody on our side would need to be giving these vampires offerings, the immortal vampires offerings, just in order for them to not attack people in the afterlife. So the immortal vampires, they are here because of magicians. All vampires are made from magicians. The purpose of people undergoing the vampire ritual is to have immortality for immortality, in order to not skip over the second phase of passing, meaning they skip over the first phase of passing, which is when you leave your physical body. The second phase of passing is when you go into the abyss, wherever your creator says you go. And vampires, not really into that. They felt, well, back in ancient Egypt and in Eastern Europe as well, they felt that they, as some type of royalty, because usually these rituals were reserved for royalty, they felt that they could not finish what they needed to do in one lifetime, so then they would undergo a ritual to make them immortal. But they weren't really like living immortal, they were immortal as in they didn't skip over, cross the abyss, and go to wherever the hell their creator says they go. Could be heaven, could be somewhere else. Now, the 9 tribes of vampires, which I think probably would intrigue more people, they are, first of all, some of them are here in the United States. New Orleans is a big place, but it's not only New Orleans, it's literally all over the United States. These vampires, they also have gifts. They can attract you in the astral realm. They can stalk you in the astral realm. They can, some of them, they have to touch you, and they're like energy vampires. They can literally have information about you. They can pull life force out of you just by having touched you once. The other types of vampires that we see in like ancient Egypt, if you've ever studied those rituals that they did in ancient Egypt and Eastern Europe, they don't necessarily have that power, because if you would ever see one of these vampires, they look like a shining version of, I don't think I can say this word, they look like a gentle mist, basically. That's the only way I can kind of describe it. They look like a gentle mist, a figurine of a person. They are extremely rare to encounter, alongside the mortal vampires being extremely rare to encounter as well. More people have encounters with the mortal vampires than the immortal ones, mostly because there was basically an abolishment of people in Egypt and Eastern Europe doing these vampire rituals because of they had issues with them. It wasn't a perfect